forget why I backed off of covering it at first. So I think I saw it on Lurk It at some point. But I think it was only in the upcoming. I don't think it was actually out and available yet. Or it was asking for demo coverage, and that might be why I stepped away from that thought. I don't remember. But this one is another one of those games that harkens back to things like Kingsfield, which anybody that's been here for a bit knows I really enjoy anything that is Kingsfield related. Those old first-person action dungeon crawls are something that interests me a lot. So I'm curious to see how this one's going to play out. It's also interesting that they've got a Next Fest Edition button here, which takes you into gameplay. So I'm assuming that it basically is a split version of the demo. So our masks of choice here is your mask determines your fate is the Knight, the Thief, the Scholar, and the Inquisitor. Scholar, obviously, very focused on intelligence, a little bit of dexterity. I'm gonna assume 4 is Fortitude? No, it might not be Fortitude, because Con would logically be Constitution, so why would you have Constitution and Fortitude together? It's a little bit weird. I'm torn between the Thief and the Scholar, because when I tested the audio and everything, I tried the Inquisitor. It didn't really grab me too much. I think we'll go ahead and go for the Scholar, because I think the magic's going to be the most interesting thing to show off here. Yeah, basically the short version of what's going on with the world of this game, which was also kind of an interesting thought, is apparently there's a curse where if you see someone's face, you die. So that's a whole thing. That's a bit of an odd one, but that's why everyone wears masks. You don't have a mask, you're gonna have a bad day. As you can see, you have a charge meter. Every time you attack, you probably are gonna want to fully charge it, but you can just fast stab as well. And we have a lightning bolt we can throw out. Monster, of course, has its health bar down there in the bottom left. And there it goes. These are our save points. We're going to want to touch this immediately so I don't have to redo the character choice. It's neat that it hangs up the masks that we had the choices from, but also a couple more. We'll go ahead and rest to make sure it saves. That did respawn the enemy, which I kind of figured it would. It's also interesting that your first enemy actually has a ranged attack. Do let me know if the volume is okay. It sounds fine in my ears, but if anything is too loud, do just shout, and I will make sure to fix it. There we go. Grab a coin. Well, quite the busy day already, huh? Let me go ahead and snooze the ads again. Hey there, Hex. Thank you for the raid. What were we up to today? I seem to recall you had to change what you were doing. I think it ended up being Dragon Age, if I remember right. I try to pay attention, but I cannot always guarantee I remember everything. Welcome in, everybody, though. We are on our third demo now, the Curse of Faces? Yes, Verho, the Curse of Faces. There we go. Oh, yeah, you know what? That's understandable. Mordhau was a fun game, though. Little rough for my taste at times, but it was fun. Dragon Age sure was brought up. That was what Hex was doing. And do follow Hex. Hex has been incredibly supportive. And is just good people in general. So, highly recommended. I see you're still trying. I see you're still trying to make things out of the titles. There we go. Grab our coin and keep on moving. Oh, can I have these knives? I can have these knives. Neat. Another save point. So far, I will say this moves better than I expected it to. I was expecting purposefully a bit clunkier movement, considering it's built based on Kingsfield, but at the same time, Kingsfield really only had Clunk because of the fact that it was a PS1 game more than anything, because the PS2 Kingsfield and ones that came after all weren't really that hard to move with. Yeah, that might be a little too complicated. And while at one point I did consider studying Russian, I never ended up following through on that. Because that was all part of high school me's interest in being an interpreter, and then the reality of such being less interesting to me after time passed. Because I do enjoy language, but it was one of those things that it's a hobby you probably shouldn't turn into a job unless you really have a more significant passion for it than I did. Let's see. Okay, so we can just drag them over here, probably. Yeah, you could just chuck the throwing knives in there, and I can use them. Very good. Oh, you get 14 arrows when you use the pack of arrows. Okay. And of course, we have the Ring of the Thief now, which gives us extra throwing weapon damage, so we may as well slap that on since we don't have anything in that space right now. How do I switch my magic? Ah, there we go. Oh, I've got a few spells, actually. I've got whatever that is, this purple ring, some kind of heart crush. Neat. Okay. Good to know. Midnight Sickle +4. That seems like a lot to get immediately. Definitely a stronger weapon, too, so let's give that a go for a bit. What the? I think his head clipped through me, but it looked almost like he did a weird handstand and started chasing me. It was a little bit of a weird one. Give me the money. Oh no, these are stones, not money. I figured it was just a bag of money. Can I take these? No. So... is this like two-handed for some reason? No, it isn't. So why... huh? How do I put... there we go. I was trying to figure out how to put my lightning back in my hand. Oh, I see. So I have a bunch of different sets. The sets just also had the sword in the one hand. It's probably just a visual thing, I would say, for Gloomwood, though Gloomwood is more than likely built on a similar inspiration to a certain degree. So I would say that Gloomwood probably doesn't have that much of a Kingsfield inspiration, having played Gloomwood. I would be much more inclined to think it's just an art style full choice that makes you think of that. Probably don't want to jump out that window. Probably would kill me. Okay, that did hit. Probably shouldn't be picking fights with every random bit of wildlife I encounter, but how else do we find out what drops what? And what is dangerous and what isn't? Wow, that was worth a lot of experience. I'm glad I blew him up. Okay, that was just a fly. Something was hovering right in my peripheral vision. I wasn't sure if it was a spider or not. It was just a little fly. Oh boy. Hey big guy, how you doing? I think we run. I don't think we fight that. One-eyed temple. Yeah, that seems like it was designed to chase me in here. Or not. I have made mistakes. I have made horrible, horrible mistakes right now. How do I use my items? Manual. Hold that thought, game. Before you kill me, how do I use item? Use item is T. Okay. That does not seem to be the case. Well... I get the feeling I did not read the bit of text there correctly. Let's open that manual again, let's say. That does look like a T, but it clearly was not correct. Because I had cycled to my healing potions and that didn't work. Well, I was already very nearly dead by the time that last thing hit me. Because with that red health up there, you could have told that I had this much left when that happened. I was getting chewed to pieces in that whole scenario. Huh. You know, in hindsight, I could have tried pulling this menu up and tried to use it from there. But I don't know if it pauses when this menu is open. And you clearly aren't listening when I said use item was what I was trying to use, not open inventory. I'm not sure which is a bigger problem, my reading comprehension or your listening comprehension. Either way, we respawn just fine anyway, so it's not like it was that big a loss. Ooh. If found an ancient rock. I don't know why I wanted it, but it was on a precarious ledge, so I assumed I wanted it. Wisdom. I'm glad they reward my silly parkour. That makes me happy. Moderately increases experience gained. Wait. My thief ring's gone. Did I pick that up after that checkpoint, or did I lose it? I'm going to assume I picked it up after this checkpoint. Otherwise, I'm going to be very sad. And again, I don't have the sickle anymore either. With it being phrased as load last save, I wouldn't assume that you would actually lose things. Something to think about. This thing does not understand the concept of personal space. But yeah, y'all should be back from the ads by now. Oh, so basically all you missed is I walked into a temple and died a miserable death after being chased by a weird green creature that I didn't understand how to deal with. And then I started jumping around and found a couple things. That's about it. Nothing too remarkable. That's a lot of beds. Actually, no, those were... doesn't matter. Brain had a moment. I feel like there was an exit from this segment here, but apparently there wasn't. That doesn't matter. Everything's fine. Yeah, because there's the sickle there. I just thought we had had a save point since then, but apparently we hadn't. There we go. Hey, give me the bag. Another vial of healing. Very good. Okay, that's my own footsteps. See, that time it didn't overwrite my weapon slot. Interesting. But now it did, even though I was on a different... What is happening with these weapon slots? Something's getting confused, and I mean, something other than me, that is getting confused here. I'm obviously getting confused too, but that's a whole other scenario. I can also just cycle the spells up here anyway, so I don't know what the point is. I don't know why I'm trying to understand it. It's not gonna make sense, and we'll just deal with that in the future. So we know that if we go toward that temple, a giant monster jumps out at me. I don't know if I want to deal with that. Let's go this way instead. See if we find anything interesting. We found another one anyway. Okay, very good. It's also not as strong as it looks, so you know what? Maybe I was afraid for nothing. I got real nervous when it caused multiple status effects at once. Hey, ABC, how's it going? Oh yeah, you actually can see it down there. What's the good news? I guess I can't throw that shot from here. Have that count. What the lightning? Can I throw that down there? I can, but it hits the bridge. Oh, nice. Congratulations. Oh. Is that thing not gonna come out of the water? Like, I can very clearly... There we go. I was gonna say, I can very clearly see that it's there. There we go. His Q just switches those. T very clearly is not using items. That one works. Huh. Unless maybe T just only uses it from this menu, but then what's the point to having them over here? I mean, that worked, at least. Haha, you hit the post, you silly fool. There we go. Okay, yeah, so the purple droplet there is poison, as anyone would expect. Aha! Use item is R, not the T that is shown in the manual. You see, use item right there says T. But it is R. Interesting. Hey, here's some of the story as well. May as well read this. You as well have decided to cross the borders into the accursed kingdom. Before you knew it, an unnatural mist enveloped you. The mist thickened and you felt your strength draining away until all you saw was a black abyss. 600 years ago, the world as we knew it ended in a matter of hours. People collapsed dead on the ground, unaware of what was happening. Some noticed the death occurred when two people met. Thus began the era of solitude. And though the era of solitude lasted for nearly 300 years, humanity somehow survived. To this day, no one knows how. After that, the world entered a new era. That was when the Maker appeared, a man who somehow uncovered the mystery behind the tragedy. It was, as he called it, the curse of faces. When one person saw another's face, both would die instantly. The Maker shared this knowledge with the remnants of humanity and crafted special masks, which became the defining symbol of the New Age, the era of masks. For this act, many saw him as a savior, some even as a deity, giving birth to the first religion of the New World. Though many records suggest that the Maker himself never wanted this, over the years, people managed to determine one thing. Whatever caused the Curse of Faces originated in Yariv, a small nation surrounded by mountain ranges in the heart of the Old World. Since then, many have ventured into Yariv, scholars, thieves, and mercenaries, yet none ever returned, and you as well have decided to cross the borders into the Accursed Kingdoms for reasons known only to yourself. Okay, this is the same bit that was up here. For some reason, this is at the beginning of it, and then at the end of it as well. A little bit of odd formatting. And here's the description of all the masks. We're not going to go through all of this since we do have a time limit, but I wanted to at least get that story bit out. to help make things make a little more sense. Okay, so that thing in the middle there is also dangerous to us. But now that we know how to use our healing items, we should be fine. Let me go ahead and just cycle to my mana potions and get full magic in hand. There we go. The Eye Guardian. Yeah, it by itself is not that dangerous, it seems, as long as you don't stand there and let it hit you with all those fireballs it's shooting. Oh! Well, that's not great. He has set me on fire and made me bleed. But he's still dead. I had to drink a lot of potions to not die there. Whew. Off to a real aggressive start there, huh, game? At least the key is multi-use. It's not like, hey, the key just broke. Green marked rune. Okay. Looks like the green marked rune is a key of some kind. Based on the little pop-up that popped up, or at least a key item. Huh. I'm gonna break all your offerings, and then I'll fiddle with whatever that is. Pick up the Eye of Secrets. Well, if I can just take that, I guess I'm just taking that. Eye of Secrets, a strange eye-like orb found in the in the Temple of the Eye. It can serve as a source of light and also reveal secret passages to its wielder. Neat. We'll go ahead and put that. Well, you know, I wasn't gonna put it in my offhand there, but sure, we'll put it in that set's offhand, I guess. Sure. Still not quite adapted to that yet. And these are our spells, by the way. Snowstorm, Thunder, Shadow Flames, and Identify. So that's neat. I actually can identify enemies. But I guess that makes sense for a scholar to be able to do. I never did find that thief ring again, apparently. It's fine. We took a slightly different route. This was the other end. Oh! You hold shift and that's how you lift up the Eye of Secrets to light things up. Okay. So I guess there isn't a sprint. I was just convincing myself I could sprint and feel better about running away from things. Wouldn't be the first time about that one. Of course there's one of those just chilling here, sure. We'll look at that here in a second. That is very Moonlight Greatsword just kind of sitting there, and I'm suspicious of that, if I'm honest. That seems entirely too convenient. Yeah, just Moonblade +4. It's just sitting there. Okay, sure. The legendary Moonblade. Records of it appear across many eras. The blade seems to come and go as if it had a will of its own. Some even believe it travels between dimensions. The reforged blade has gained a blue shimmer and also regained its magical properties. Need a lot of strength to use it though, and we don't have that strength. So that becomes a future responsibility. But hey, we earned that by getting past the huge monsters and then the Guardian. Which admittedly, you know, we did just kind of potion whore our way through that, but Nobody ever said your strategy had to be complicated. Ooh. And that's a shortcut back to the beginning of this area, it looks like, based on the shrine I can see over there that I already activated. It's probably a good idea that they had these bridges tied to a prompt instead of just tied to hitting them. Because otherwise a clever person would potentially just throw something at that bridge and have it fall over for them ahead of time. Or this bridge, for example, as well. thus bypassing the need to go all the way around to wherever it is you need to go to get there. There's the pack of bolts we left behind. Is it over this way that the area where the other thing was? Yeah, this is where the thief ring and the throwing knives and everything was. And you probably get to where those bridges are by jumping over there, probably? Actually, no. This isn't the curved bit where the throwing knives and everything were. Doesn't matter. I do want to touch that save point, though, before I try anything. That wasn't there before. I don't think it was there before, anyway. We'll deal with that in a second. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Hip. And a hip. And a hip. Hip. What is this? Aegis Spear plus 6. I'm going to assume the Eye of Secrets showed that to me. That would be the logical assumption. What do we think the over-under on me dying trying to jump over there is? Personally, I think about a 50% chance of success. Help. Okay, hurt a lot, but we made it. I don't have knees anymore, but you know what? Where we're going, we don't need knees. Alright. A lot of money. Still don't have any use for money yet, but I'm sure we'll find a shop somewhere. That looks like we're gonna have to figure out puzzle to open that. Or go get like 3 items to open it, one of the two. Aegis Spear. A magic short javelin-like spear found in a strange dimension. Being almost weightless, it is perfect for throwing and can even return to its owner on its own. Neat. And it requires no stats to use. Let's go ahead and put that on my other set and give that a try. How do I use it? Oh, hang on. One problem at a time. Oh, there we go. That's right. Same way I used the other thing. Neat. I can just make it extend out of my hand. Oh, that's resummoning it. That's what's happening. Oh, that's neat. I like that. Because you gotta basically summon up a fresh one in order to throw it again. What's this? Friend? Evil? Murder friend? I mean, at least you have a mask on, so you're not gonna have us both die by existing.
So my senses weren't deceiving me after all.
Depends on what your senses were telling you.
Someone has broken the seal.
Maybe.
And I'm guessing that someone is you.
Also maybe.
I expected the one who'd do it to be a bit more impressive.
Rude.
But I suppose it doesn't really matter.
Matter of opinion there.
Since you're here, it means you'll eventually cross paths with the Collector.
I'm guessing everybody runs into the Collector eventually, and that's why you're saying that.
And when that happens, you'll die. Another soul swallowed by the swamp. Quite beautiful, really.
Making a lot of assumptions here. Do you have anything helpful to say other than, hey, there's a Collector that's going to kill me?
Now that we've established your fate, how about a little trade?
That's a hell of a way of starting a business relationship.
Gold bores me. Knowledge, I've drowned in it. What I desire is entertainment.
That depends on what you consider entertainment.
In return, I'll share with you magic unlike anything you've ever seen. What do you say? Surely you wouldn't refuse a lonely woman's request.
This seems incredibly suspicious. Also, you say gold bores you, and yet all of your stuff is priced in gold. Got a lot of magic at offer, though.
Now that we've established your fate,
Yes.
gold, and what do you
I wanted to look at your items as well. You've got a bunch of leaves. Yarth leaf reduces poison. Burra leaf is blood. Rosiv is burn. Kiraz is slow. And Waku is cure stun. Okay. Don't really need any of those right now, but thank you. I'm taking this, by the way. I need that. So she had the third rune, and we picked up one of the runes already. Yeah, but she had also said she wanted to trade in entertainment, and then was asking for gold anyway. That's more what I'm getting at. I did not have a entertain her with a funny dance or anything option to try to buy things. We have two of the runes we need for this. We just need one rune for there now. So, the rune we picked up one was rune 3, and yet it went in slot 2. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, it does have the right symbol to be in the middle slot. I just kind of expected the one marked 3 to go in, you know, the third position. That just made sense to me. Wasted my spear, but it's fine, they're infinite. I'm guessing the spear is statless and everything, though, so that anybody can use it, so that every class has a ranged option. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just find it interesting. Oh, the other one wasn't dead yet. There we go. Gonna guess that... Yep. That is just a stronger healing potion. Okay, that's fine. We're not gonna put those on the bar because I don't want to burn them needlessly. But I definitely needed that heal right now. Got new enemies in there. Oh, these are the things that cause slow. Okay. Okay, he didn't aggro on me yet. I could still hear him gurgling, so I wasn't sure about that. I'll pretend I have any idea what you're talking about with that one. Broken Mercenary. Okay. That sure is a sound he keeps repeating every time I hit him. There we go. Now we don't have to hear that anymore. Mask shards. I'm assuming those are going to be important. We might be able to make new masks to change our identity. I know what Fear and Hunger is, I've just never seen it or played it. I have heard the name and I'm aware of what kind of game it is, I've just never experienced any part of it yet. It's entirely possible to know many things without having any further knowledge of them. We have the last rune we need. There's honestly very few games I don't at least know by name and have something to identify it off of. Collector's Grove. Wait, I'm gonna assume, yeah, that gold bar up there is probably where our levels come from. That is more than likely our experience meter. We just haven't gotten enough experience to gain a level. Hate that. Yeah, you know what? That checks out. That's called a bloodsucker. That really looks like something that would suck blood. And there we go. We gained our first level. Okay, so we get 3 points from a level. Dexterity allows you to work with things that are more finesse than strength, as usual. I do appreciate that all of these increase your, well, all of these physical stats increase your life, and I assume, yep, all of these affect mana except resistance. Also affects health. Okay. Well, we need 44 strength to use the Moonblade, so we're not gonna worry about that idea. 3 points really doesn't do much for us here, aside from, like, rounding off our dexterity or our intelligence, so we'll just round off our intelligence for the time being. And let's just see how bad things go for us. I'm not sure these things would qualify for an arachnophobia warning, but, upsetting creature warning, I guess, might be a fair statement to make, though. At least they're quick and easy to get rid of. They're not super durable, despite the fact that they give a lot more experience than anything we fought up till this point. Can I have that mask? Nope, it's stuck on there, but good. Okay, very good. Ooh, that looks like another weapon. Convict sentence, sure. Alright, ABC, good night. So let's see. Convict sentence. The spear-like torture device resembling the torch is found along the heretic's path. Likely fell here, still lodged in the throat of some unfortunate soul who was cast down. Yikes. We're also not strong enough to use that, so that's not happening. Let's see, we got our packs of bolts and such. Yeah, what do mask shards do? When crushed, it pulses with latent power, tearing the fabric of reality to send the user back to the last mask altar they visited. Okay, so there are warp item. Okay, that makes sense. And these are all just... Oh, they're weapon upgrade items. Okay. But we have no understanding of the ancient rock yet. It's just a really old rock, and we don't know why we care about a really old rock yet. Not sure how I feel about the fact that they just completely explode on death. Okay, they're not that bad to melee either. I don't need to swap to my mana potions, but I think I will anyway. Give ourselves a restock. Keep pressing 3 because I want to say it was 1 and 3 that cycled items in Lunacid, and I'm immediately just taken back there mentally with how this moves and plays. Aside from the fact that I can't crank my speed and just go flying around the field. Stronger plants up there, it looks like. That make upsetting noises. Stop that. Corrupted Mourner, huh? They also spin their tendrils at you. I don't know how to feel about a plant helicoptering at me. You know, something about that just seems extra wrong. Go collect my rewards from up here. Lightning powder. I assume that's the same as the gale powder, just for lightning instead. I'm gonna assume the collector's in there, considering it's his grove. That is a big goddamn tree, though. Yep, we're gonna need more things to get in, though. Yeah, no, that's more or less what I was aware of with Fear and Hunger, that it was an incredibly brutal RPG Maker game. Which is why I never really paid any further attention to it. It's like, oh hey, if I needed my balls twisted off, I already have plenty of other ways to do that. I've heard that it's got some very interesting ideas in there, in among it being brutal as all hell, but... Defining it like that basically just encourages me to disregard it entirely, rather than attracting me to it at all. So the other rune must be just on a tree stump somewhere over on the other side somewhere. May have even been back where we were before, and I just didn't spot it. Yeah, I'm not one to shy away from difficulty, but when difficulty is your main claim to fame, I'm probably not that interested. After all, I never finished any of the Dark Souls games either, because I ran out of patience with just about all of them after a while. Not necessarily because of the difficulty, but because it just kind of lost me most of the time. Which is a shame, because you would think, being a FromSoft and Kingsfield enjoyer, I would be on board with the storytelling in such of those, and I am. Just the rest of it around it is just kind of meh. To me. I mean, of course there's a catch with that game. There's a catch just about everything. I see why she said I was gonna die now. Ow. Okay, that was aggressive. Okay, you've spawned a flying mask thing that is gonna spray, I'm assuming, blood magic at me. Yep, he took his mask off. He's almost done already, though. And there we go. Easy. She thought I was gonna die. Ha. Blue marked rune. No, that's just floating there, I guess. I mean, of course. I'm gonna assume he trades in body parts or something. That seems like the likely outcome with a game like that. Oh, I wasn't far off with body parts then. Best not to dwell on that one too much. So I guess let's go back to the merchant and see if she has any reaction to the fact that we've gone and defeated the collector. And I don't know what we're gonna do with this blue rune yet, but I assume it's important somewhere. Yeah, I know, you exist. Oh, nice for you. I'm going to ignore you. Assuming her cave is safe because of these candles and such. I killed the collector.
You actually defeated the collector? Well, aren't you interesting?
I mean, you did want entertainment. Does killing the collector count as entertainment? Price, please? Yeah, you know what? That was a good joke, wasn't it?
Either this marks the beginning of a new era, or the end of the world.
Isn't that technically both the same thing? Or at least the end of a world, if you think about it.
How exciting! This is certainly long overdue.
And I got nothing for that, huh? Aside from you giggling at me. So that's what her mask is made out of. You know what? Kind of assumed.
Ah, if it isn't the little savior.
Why do I feel mildly insulted when you say it that way?
Let's trade. Perhaps I can help you survive a little longer.
To be fair, some of the worst people are incredibly friendly. That, I presume, is part of the point they're trying to make there. I don't think I picked up that much more gold, so I probably can't afford much of anything from her.
Now that you hold the key to the royal forest,
Which is where, per se?
here's a little piece of advice.
Don't go there?
Do not fear the pale fog.
That was not the answer I was expecting.
Take it by the hand, let it lead you.
That seems like dangerous advice.
It's the only way to reach the capital.
Fair enough.
Who knows what you might find there these days?
Death. Probably death. Probably a lot of it.
Farewell, little savior. And remember, you can't hide behind that mask forever.
Well, that was simultaneously incredibly enlightening and utterly unhelpful. Which is meaning that they're keeping on target pretty well for that type of dialogue from any of the Kingsfield games or such. People will vaguely hint at the things you need to understand, and you'll have to figure the rest of it out on your own. Now, getting back over to where we started, that's a whole other scenario here. Oh, there were the bridges. I guess I should go knock one of them down. There's also... Didn't we open that gate already? I thought that was the green one. Maybe it's just not open visibly at this distance. Maybe it, like, reverts back to its original... No, there's the green one down there. So maybe that's where I need to go, then, over there. That doesn't seem to have enough range. You're gonna have to hold that thought on that info dump for a second here. There we go. Though, honestly, the heads are more of what I expected the price to be when you mentioned it the first time. Wait, no, didn't we go in here already? This was where the mercenary was. Which it sounds like the mercenary respawned as well. There we go, another level for us. I'm trying to rush to the next part, though, because we're running out of time on this demo. as much as I'm enjoying this experience, I am trying to, you know, keep demo variety going here. That is the point of this endeavor, after all. Yeah, there we go. There's the blue gate. There appears to be a box in the corner here. Wind Cutter 3. Seems like a better version of our original sword. And we can use it, so sure, we'll try that out for a bit. Yep, it attacks the same way, but I'm assuming it, when it says it has a wind spell in it, I assume it does wind damage. Dum-da-dum-da-dum-dum-dum. Ooh, Bloodstealer. I mean, that's fair. There's many things that sickles exist in, but that is an easy one to think of. Oh, finished demo. Never mind. That was the end of the demo. We don't actually get to go to that forest. That was a good demo, though. It gave you a good area to wander around in. There probably was more I didn't do.